This is CBS 47 Action News Jax at noon. Local coverage you can count on.
The latest track for Tropical Storm Dorian came in just minutes ago to the First Alert Weather Center, and with it comes some not so good news for Florida. The cone of concern, as you can see, is now covering parts of our viewing area.
And this is brand new video from the Lesser Antilles where Tropical Storm Dorian passed over this morning. You can see what looks like a city bus trapped in the middle of severe flash flooding. Thanks for joining us, everyone, on Action News Jax at noon. I'm Phil Amato.
And I'm Dawn Lopez. We have complete team coverage. Right now, Tropical Storm Dorian is moving over the warm waters of the Caribbean Sea, and that's where it's expected to gain strength. Let's get you right on over to First Alert meteorologist Garrett Beatonbaugh. And Garrett, while Dorian will gain some speed and strength over the next week, it's no longer projected to become a hurricane.
Yeah, the latest forecast advisory this morning has it becoming a strong tropical storm, but you can see right now behind me, there's the latest infrared satellite imagery. Winds at 50 miles per hour sustained, according to the National Hurricane Center, moving to the west and northwest at 13 miles per hour. So we're going to be tracking that over the next couple of days. And you can see right now a live look at Jacksonville Beach on the Action News Jax First Alert Skycam network. Pretty nice day here across northeast Florida and southeast Georgia. But here's the latest forecast track for Dorian. According to the National Hurricane Center, still expected over the northeast Caribbean Sea to be a strong tropical storm of 60 to 70 miles per hour Wednesday afternoon and into the evening, bearing down on the west coast of Puerto Rico, perhaps even the eastern coast of Dominican Republic, and even maybe staying over water there in between there. That's a scenario too that we'll have to watch to see if it maintains its strength. From there on out into the holiday weekend, it'll be in the southern Bahamas, the Turks and Caicos, back into the central and northern Bahamas by Saturday and into Sunday. That's when we'll have to watch it for potential Florida impacts. And of course, yes, now with the timing, with the day 5 forecast, that does include portions of northeast Florida for the cone of uncertainty. Basically, we just need to be preparing to make sure we don't have to prepare for a tropical impact. But right now, you can see there's the spaghetti plots updated this morning since you've joined us on CBS 47 Action News Jax this morning. There it is, still about central Florida. Some models take it slightly farther to the north. Right now, 5-speed First Alert Doppler HD is dry. We'll be timing out some showers and thunderstorms for you as well. But the latest and the bottom line for Dorian near Puerto Rico Wednesday, the Bahamas Friday and Saturday. So stay up to date and talking the tropics with Mike at ActionNewsJax.com, of course, from Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. And don't forget to download the free Action News Jax First Alert weather app.
Thanks, Garrett. The First Alert weather team keeping you up to date as we continue to track Dorian. And Action News Jax wants you to be prepared as peak hurricane season is just beginning. Here is a quick guide on what you need to know right now. You need to have an at least 7-day supply of water, food, and prescription medication as a part of your hurricane kit. And also keep in mind, be sure to have a battery-powered weather radio, extra batteries, and your cell phone so that you can stay up to date. And get some cash now from the bank and keep important documents like your ID and insurance policies in a safe location should you need them. And these are just some of the items that you'll need for your hurricane kit. And we have it all for you here at ActionNewsJax.com and on our homepage. And you'll find Talking the Tropics with Mike, where you'll find a full list of items for that kit, emergency numbers, and how to get your home prepared. Phil.
And if you haven't, download the Action News Jax weather app right now. The Navy testing drinking water in 2 areas of Jacksonville for potentially dangerous chemicals. The Navy says they may have seeped into groundwater from firefighting foam. New this noon, Action News Jax Brittany Donovan shows us families' concerns and how many drinking wells the Navy expects to test.
Right now, we're along Wonderwood in Mayport, and many families live along this stretch of road. It's just one area where the Navy is testing to see if families who live here are affected by the chemicals.
Katie Attenborough showed me the letter she got from the U.S. Navy. Her home falls within the 1-mile radius around Naval Station Mayport that you see in green. It's being tested for substances known as PFAS.
That's very concerning. Brushing your teeth, I mean, when you take a shower, what are you going to do?
According to the CDC, the chemicals could be carcinogenic at high concentrations. They're also found in clothing, food packaging, and cookware. NAS Jax tested wells near their base last year and found the levels were safe. NAS Jax is now testing 180 wells near outlying landing field White House. Mayport says it sent out at least 20 letters to families around its own base.
What steps are going to be taken? Do we need to get off this well water and get on city water.
Attenborough tells me she plans to ask those questions at the open house the Navy is hosting tonight at Mayport Middle School. She says to be on the safe side, she's been using bottled water for herself and her pets.
Along with this stretch of Wonderwood, Hanna Park is also in the testing area. I'm reaching out to the city to find out how the park and the families who go there might be affected. I'll let you know what I find out tonight at 5. Reporting in Mayport, Brittany Donovan, CBS 47, Action News Jax.
There will be another fundraiser tomorrow to help search crews looking for these 2 lost firefighters who were lost at sea. Two Dudes Seafood Restaurant is inviting everyone out for lunch and dinner on Wednesday. Half of their sales will be donated to volunteers who continue the search efforts. Right now, Cape Coral police need help finding this missing teen who could be in Lake City. Now, officers say that Coyote Turner was last seen in Cape Coral August 11th. She was last seen wearing a white t-shirt, black yoga pants, and sneakers. If you've seen this teen, call 911 right away.
Some Oceanway parents won't allow their kids to walk to the bus stop anymore. They say the city is refusing to install a sidewalk along Duval Station Road, putting their kids in danger. Now, this is a time lapse of cars moving this morning right before the first bell rang. It's sped up now, but it does show how much traffic comes through here. Parents say it's unsafe for their students to walk past this with no sidewalk and are now forced to drive their kids to school.
It kind of led me to believe that they really didn't care until something happens. You know, I don't want to see my child or anybody else's child get hurt.
Some parents filed a complaint with the city, but the city denied the request, reading in part, quote, "The area does not meet the criteria for a new sidewalk at this time, per the Pedestrian Safety Improvement Plan." Right now, 2 men are on the run with semi-automatic guns they used to rob a Mandarin bank. It happened at the TD Bank on Monday. Since then, a silver Infiniti they stole from a bank manager has been found. Police say these men covered up their faces, but they didn't wear gloves. No customers were hurt in this robbery. If you can identify these men, you're asked to call JSO right away.
Family members of the patients who died in a Florida nursing home during Hurricane Irma are opening up about the charges against 4 of the employees.
I'm happy for what's going on and the work the police has done, and we finally have some arrests, and this is just the beginning.
This is just step one. You know, there's a lot that's going on.
We told you right here yesterday on Action News Jax at noon when 3 nurses and an administrator were charged. 12 people died because of extreme heat from a lack of power and air conditioning at the rehabilitation center in Hollywood Hills.
Brazil's president may reject $20 million in Amazon rainforest aid pledged by leaders at the G7 summit. The president, Jair Bolsonaro, hasn't yet responded to the offer personally and will only do so if the French president, quote, withdraws his insults. Emmanuel Macron has been vocal about the need for an international response to the fires, but Bolsonaro is reportedly questioning Macron's intentions, accusing Macron of using the fires for his own political gain. We have a recall warning for parents this afternoon. More than 5 million Contigo Kids water bottles have been recalled because of a choking hazard. According to the Consumer Product Safety Commission, the Contigo Kids cleanable water bottles' clear silicone spout can come off. The bottles have a black base and cover over the clear spout and come in 3 sizes: 13 ounce, 14 ounce, and 20 ounce.
In just hours, 100 volunteers will fan out in the community, working to identify how many people are in need. They plan to talk with people in the urban core and the beaches areas from about 5:30 until 8:30 tonight. Back in January, they identified, they tell us, 1,600 homeless individuals in the Jacksonville area. 500 of them were living on the streets, and more than 1,100 were living in shelters. A big push in tonight's survey will be identifying homeless veterans and what help they need. In the January count, they found nearly 120 veterans who were homeless.
Glenn County Fire Rescue is holding a fundraiser this weekend to help one of their own. This is firefighter Davis's newborn baby girl named Paisley. Now, she was born August 19th and has been in the NICU ever since. Doctors say she was born with Down syndrome and is having complications now breathing. So, to help with their medical bills, the fire department will hold a car wash on Saturday. You can bring your dirty car to Station 1 on Community Road between 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. Car washes are only $10, with 100% of those proceeds going to the Davis family. Kids can also come and get a full tour of the station and the fire trucks.
Gotta go. Today, city leaders will meet to talk about the Renew Arlington initiative. It focuses on redevelopments along University Boulevard, Merrill, and Arlington roads. That meeting is at 2 p.m. at City Hall. In Nassau County, Aldi will open its first Yulee store this week. The new store will have giveaways, we're told, all weekend long to celebrate the grand opening. It's located at State Road 200. The ribbon cutting is set for Thursday at 8:25 a.m.
Let's give you a live look now over the baseball grounds of Jacksonville, where the Jumbo Shrimp will host their final home game of the regular season tonight. Last night, the team edged by the Mobile Bears by winning 3-2. We hope they do it again tonight with Mobile. The first pitch is set at 7:05.
And from the Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Garrett Beatonball right now tracking the hurricane hunters flying around in Tropical Storm Dorian, finding 50-mile-per-hour sustained winds. We are tracking the latest with Dorian with team coverage here at noon.
And I'm meteorologist Corey Sima, timing out local storms hour by hour in the Action News Jax First Alert forecast.
On average, most college campuses have an increase of crime right now. But coming up, we'll show you what some local schools are doing to keep their students safe.
Plus, preventing veteran suicide. We get a look inside one of the top resources to help our nation's heroes cope with life after war.
What to watch, brought to you by Ashley Home Store.
New at noon, colleges are warning students to protect themselves from sexual assaults during what's called the red zone period.
They say that those crimes tend to spike during the first few weeks of class. Action News Jax Elizabeth Pace investigates the safety procedures set in place at local college campuses.
It's called the red zone. For the first 6 weeks of college classes, the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network says more than 50% of sexual assaults are reported. Experts say this is when students are new to campus and unfamiliar with the policies and culture.
That is very surprising, honestly. It's a little scary.
On the U.S. Department of Education website, I found UNF had 9 reports of rape on campus in 2017. We told you about another case this past November when a student told police she was drugged and assaulted during a party. Now this compares to the 1 rape case reported at Florida State College at Jacksonville and 24 rape cases reported at FSU, which is a much larger campus. Right now I'm working to find how these numbers compare from the start to the end of the school year.
I lived in the crossings last year, and so we would I felt really safe to go on campus. At nighttime, if I was coming home from a club and it was dark out, there's the blue lights everywhere, and the UPD is always around.
Those are called mobile blue lights. It's an emergency response button that will immediately notify police. These emergency call buttons are scattered throughout campus. We found them in different walkways, parking lots, and at every bus stop. UNF will alert students when a sexual assault is reported on campus. Ahead at 5, we'll explore other tools they can use to make sure they get home safely. Reporting on the South Side, Elizabeth Pace, CBS47, Action News Jax.
The Department of Defense and Veterans Affairs are discussing new ways to prevent military suicides. About 20 veterans take their own lives each day. CBS News got an exclusive look inside the Veterans Crisis Hotline. It launched back in 2007 and now gets around 1,700 calls a day. Former Sergeant Danny O'Neill knows the suicide rate all too well. He lost 9 men overseas during the war, but lost 14 more when they came back home.
The guys started isolating and drinking and doing things that they thought were helping them cope, and it led to depression and suicide.
The VA's responders are trying to lift that burden 1 call at a time. Over the past 12 years, they answered more than 3.5 million calls and sent help to nearly 100,000 people.
Now certified Jacksonville's most accurate weather forecast. Action News Jax First Alert Weather.
I'm First Alert meteorologist Garrett Beatonbaugh. Here is a live look right now at Tropical Storm Dorian. You can see winds at 50 miles per hour moving to the west and northwest around 13 miles per hour. Now we're going to continue monitoring this here in the Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center over the next couple of days, obviously. This is the spaghetti plots, the updated ones, though. You can see here from this morning continuing to indicate the potential for portions of either western Puerto Rico or eastern Dominican Republic, and then back into the southwestern Atlantic. And then that ridge of high pressure will nudge it back to the north and west, depending on what the structure is, depends on how strong we can get it to strengthen here back before we head into Saturday and into Sunday, potentially for some of our local area here. We'll be watching that here in the Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center. There's Wednesday at 8 o'clock by 70 miles per hour. You can see that's the potential or the forecast for the maximum winds there. That's just below hurricane strength, and then potentially going over the mountainous terrain of eastern Dominican Republic. Then back to the southwestern Atlantic Ocean, and then back, of course, again, kind of following those model trends into portions of the east coast of Florida. But again, we are going to have to watch this one because we are technically in the cone of uncertainty here 5 days out. A large spread in error, though, can occur that far out forecasting tropical systems. In fact, here's the tropical storm force wind probability increasing for, say, areas like West Palm Beach up to nearly 40% there from the National Hurricane Center. Jacksonville up to about 7% or so. So something we'll have to obviously watch, as it is fighting some dry air and some wind shear, which is unfavorable for tropical development and strengthening. We'll also have new moon cycles this weekend, so some coastal flooding possible in areas that typically flood at times of high tide, and the onshore wind from Dorian will be enhanced by Dorian, by that feature 2 hours south. So something to keep up to date for the latest and talking the tropics with Mike at actionnewsjax.com. But right now we're tracking not much on 5 Street First Alert Doppler HD locally, but more. Here's meteorologist Corey Sima.
Yeah, Garrett, a few showers that we saw up in southeast Georgia early this morning, mainly Jekyll Island, portions of Glenn County too. The Gulf Coast sea breeze, it is starting to activate, but we're also getting a bit of a view on the Atlantic sea breeze as it is moving inland on First Alert Doppler HD. We're dry, though, for your lunch commute. Looks like the rain is going to hold off until this evening. You can see scattered showers across the area For the evening commute, it looks like we're going to see those storms impact the I-95 corridor this evening, potentially into tonight as well, with some additional development there in southeast Georgia, mainly north of I-10. As we get into the overnight and early Wednesday morning, the rain, it starts to go away. As for today, well, it's going to be hot. Temperatures in the upper 80s and low 90s for highs. And Garrett Biedenbaugh, the heat, it doesn't go anywhere. We are watching the holiday weekend in regards to impacts.
Yeah, you can see here in the Action News Jax First Alert 7-day forecast, temperatures in the low 90s through Wednesday and Thursday. Some scattered showers and thunderstorms into the afternoons, especially we'll be watching it for the preseason game for the Jags at 7 o'clock on Fox 30. Low 90s into Friday. We'll see some scattered showers and thunderstorms, and then all eyes on Dorian, the latest position by then. We'll get a better idea by this weekend, obviously, where it's going to be headed and how potentially strong it could be. In the mid to upper 80s for highs, though, and some showers and thunderstorms, potentially some heavy rain, again, depending on where Dorian heads through the holiday weekend. You can always get this forecast any time of the day and download the free Action News Jax First Alert weather app right there at actionnewsjax.com. And join Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish for the latest forecast track for Dorian tonight at 5 on CBS 47 Action News Jax.
New at noon, not all college degrees are created equally. Coming up, the majors that are leading to a study of successful future and the one that you may have to go back to class for.
When it comes to career paths, not all college majors are created equal. This week, Bankrate.com released its annual report showing the most and least valuable majors. The study ranked 162 majors and looked at factors like median annual income, unemployment rate, and the need for advanced degrees. So this is what they found. Overall, science, technology, engineering, and math degrees dominated the top of that list. The top 5 include naval architecture, marine and nuclear engineering, pharmaceutical sciences, and genetics and electrical engineering. The least valuable majors were all arts degrees. That included fine arts, linguistics, drama, and theater. 26% of these grads said they needed to invest in a higher degree.
If you love cats, coffee, and wine, A new business in Jacksonville Beach is catering to you. It's called the Caffeinated Cat, and it's hosting a grand opening this weekend. Look at the cute pictures and cute animals, too. Customers can come in and enjoy a drink, all while playing with some feline friends, hanging out. Each cat and kitten in the cafe is a rescue, and they're up for adoption. The grand opening is set for Saturday from 10 a.m. until 10 p.m. at 331 First Avenue North. What a concept!
Tracking the tropics here in the First Alert Weather Center throughout the afternoon and into the evening. The latest on 2 tropical systems in the Atlantic from Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish, and Corey Sim will be here as well starting at 5.
Keeping an eye on it. Have a good day, everyone.
Y&R is next.